We interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast for this news update.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new special news update. You heard it here first, folks. A local food distributor has recently announced a recall on one of its most popular products. Lance Caster, the newscaster, is live on site with more information. Lance?
Thanks, Xalem. You heard it here second. Little Debbie Snack Cakes have recently recalled their line of zebra snack cakes, found at a local retailer near you. Formaldehyde has been found in the packaging, and experts advise you throw them away immediately.
Thank you very much, Lance, for that special news update. You heard it here third, folks. If you have any sort of packaging from Little Debbie Snack Cakes, then please throw them away immediately. This is why I have one rule regarding formaldehyde. If I can't spell it, I don't eat it.
I believe you're confused, Xalem. The formaldehyde is in the snack cakes. You are not supposed to eat them. Xalem? Xalem?
Jesus Christ, that's tart!
We've all been there before. You're preparing a nice home-cooked meal when suddenly, oops, looks like there's bees in the chicken. What the f***? Get it out of here! Mistakes are an inevitable part of business. If you're rolling out products in any way, shape, or form, then eventually, you're gonna f*** something up. This is where recalls come in, when something is not as it's intended to be, so a company has to beg for you to bring back the things you've already bought. Like, I just wanted a nice bowl of cereal, and honestly, I'll take the diabetes at this point. Video games are no exception to this. A video game comes out, somebody finds a major problem within the game, the company has to see if the problem is potentially harmful to its users, then that game gets pulled from store shelves. We don't see this too much today. If you make a mistake, no big deal, just patch it out. I can update everyone's game experience with a few minor tweaks and nobody will ever know what was originally said 5 years from now. But back then, if you made a mistake in the game, you couldn't just click a few buttons and fix an issue. You had to go about it the hard way and get these games back yourself.
No! No!
But why are games recalled? Well, I think I've narrowed it down to 3 different reasons. Either a game is profane or offensive in some sort of way, the game has a game-breaking bug or glitch that makes it unplayable in its current state, or a variety of licensing or legal issues plague the development team. Surprisingly, I have all 3 of these.
Yeah, video game recalls are something that I don't really hear talked about too much. People are more likely to get upset because Scalebound got a full release trailer but then got canceled before the game ever came out. And they'd be right. But video game recalls are a much different story. They've been completed, released, and played by hundreds of thousands of people. But by God, my virgin ears just can't take it when I hear about 2 people having sex in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
The hot coffee minigame, probably the most famous of video game recalls due to the controversy surrounding the game at the time. Grand Theft Auto was one of the primary instigators for the "do video games make you violent" debate that's been going on for years. The game was already the talk of the town when fans discovered what is known as hot coffee, a normally inaccessible minigame that allows the main character CJ to have sex with one of his in-game girlfriends. With the ESRB and other ratings boards aware of this, Take-Two Interactive had to strip the game from store shelves to be relabeled with an adults-only sticker, making it the only adults-only rated game in North America to have a mass release. There were too many lawsuits surrounding this scene to count, with even modders and community members having to testify in court regarding the controversy. It's not too hard to find this scene nowadays. I mean, I could show it here and just censor it, but I've got way more important things to do, like talk about Mario Party 8! Everyone loves Mario Party. It's an easy way to get your friends to hate you, and even easier to have fans hate you when you use pervasive language. In the original release of Mario Party 8, the European version was pulled by Nintendo for accidental use of derogatory language. This might not sound like a big deal to people outside of Europe, but in the UK, use of this word is very much frowned upon. Think of it kind of like Britain's version of the R word. Nintendo was quickly made aware of this, and immediately pulled the game from store shelves, changing the word in question to erratic upon a newer release. This wouldn't be the only Nintendo published game to have this happen. No, Mind Quiz, released on the Nintendo DS just 2 months prior by Ubisoft, had the exact same language issue. It's not really funny that it happened twice, more that it happened twice for the same family of systems only 2 months apart from each other. This wouldn't be the first time Nintendo was known to pull games from store shelves, as nearly 10 years earlier they had to pull one of their most critically acclaimed games ever made. Ocarina of Time is the highest rated game of all time. So what could have possibly caused this game to be pulled from store shelves? Well, it turns out that when entering the Fire Temple, the music track that plays used certain quotes from the Quran, the Muslim holy book. This wouldn't be too much of an issue, but when listening back to the music track, you can clearly hear the lyrics uttering Allah, the Islamic name for God. This ended up being pulled from store shelves and changed in all subsequent versions. Alongside this were also changes to the push blocks in the original mirror shields for concerns that the symbols would be associated with the star and crescent symbol commonly associated with Islam. You can actually tell from a small indent on the back of your package whether your version of Ocarina of Time has the version of the Fire Temple included, which unsurprisingly mine doesn't, so you know what that means! But if that wasn't enough, Sony had the same issues when Little Big Planet released on the PS3. It was discovered shortly after release that one of the songs had 2 lines that also appeared in the Quran Holy Book. This might not seem like a big deal, but some interpreters and followers can find mingling such as this fairly offensive, so Sony pulled it from store shelves. Developer Media Molecule started working on a Day Zero patch, but Sony decided to recall the copies just to be safe. Despite all of these games being controversial in some way, shape, or form, there is one positive thing that can be said about all these games. At least they all work. Metroid Other M is a very divisive game. Some people might say it's an okay change of pace in the series, and diehard Metroid fans thinks this game deserves to die in the fiery depths of hell. I had my problems with it, but overall I did like the game, and everything worked fine except this stupid fucking mission where you have to look for this piece of slime on the ground. I kid you not, it took me 15 minutes and an online guide to find this. But that's not the reason why this game was recalled. See, there was a glitch that if you backtrack to the locked door in Sector 3 to save your game, the door would automatically lock and remain locked with no active way to progress. And with no actual way to patch or rectify this issue, Nintendo fixed this in future patches, but offered anybody dissatisfied to send in an SD card with their save data to have it permanently fixed and updated. But by the time I go through this process and fix it, I'd rather just go back to playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS1. Yes, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. This game released on August 26, 2001 for the PS1 and was quickly recalled after its release. This recall is just based on poor timing. See, the original version had a final battle with Electro titled On Top of the World, having Spider-Man fight Electro on top of the North World Trade Center. I don't think I need to elaborate on why this game was recalled. But how about another PlayStation title, maybe Too Human, released in 2008 for the Xbox 360? Yeah, I know what I said. This game went through development hell. It was originally planned for the PlayStation before moving to the GameCube in 2000 and then having the rights sold to Microsoft in 2005. It finally released after 10 years on the 360 to mixed reviews. Who would have seen that coming? Critics thought it had frustrating, outdated controls, but praised the title over its interesting lore-filled storytelling. However, developer Silicon Knights got into legal disputes with Unreal Engine creator Epic Games over using a stolen code and trade secrets within their build of Unreal Engine 3. They ended up losing the suit, having to destroy all titles using the Unreal Engine code, which of course included Too Human. Silicon Knights filed for bankruptcy shortly after, meaning no sequel to Too Human, but more importantly, we weren't getting a sequel to Damn It! There are so many more recalled games that I could go through, but none of these really affected me. Either I wasn't a big fan of these series at the time, or eventually most of them were released without the issues that plagued them in the first place. But there's one game that upset me so much and caused me so much emotional turmoil that I would be caught dead if I didn't mention it here. It's Cooking Mama. Cooking Mama may be my guilty pleasure series, but oh man, I am not above criticizing this game over what it's worth, which is not $40. This game came out riddled with bugs, which made a lot of sense since the game actually wasn't supposed to come out at all. Planet Entertainment headed the project, and after showing their finished project to IP rights holder Office Create responded with, Office Create demanded that more quality testing was needed to ensure a finished product, so Planet Entertainment took that advice and released the game anyways. This game is just so bad. I mean, sure, it looks nice and just like any other Cooking Mama game, but half the time the controls don't work and most of the minigames are way too simple. I mean, press A and you're done simple. This game almost immediately got removed from store shelves, with Planet Entertainment having their rights to the Cooking Mama license stripped entirely. This game eventually got re-released almost a year after all these issues were fixed, and I gotta be honest, I kinda like this game now. The controls feel like they actually work, albeit still simplistic in almost every endeavor, and I only feel pissed off about the game only half the time. Recalled games are always so fascinating to me. It's not something we typically think about, especially after a game has already come out. What's funny is that many of us, myself included, have become so accustomed to the negativity surrounding games and the problems that arise, but almost all of these games I've mentioned were received in a positive light. Except Mind Quiz, that's just low budget brain age for all I care. And maybe Cyberpunk. Which begs the question, what's the next game to be recalled?
Hey, this is Mike from your local Games and More. I'm just calling to let you know that due to a numerical error in our system, Square Enix has issued a recall on Near Replicant 1.22474487.